What are the odds that they are listening to the exact same playlists? Probably pretty low. After all, everyone has very different tastes in music. Now, what are the odds that your body will need the exact same medical care and treatment as another person's body? Even lower. As we go through our lives, each of us will have very different needs for our own health care. Scientists and doctors are constantly researching ways to make medicine more personalized. One way they are doing this is by researching stem cells. Stem cells are cells that are undifferentiated, meaning they do not have a specific job or function. While skin cells protect your body, muscle cells contract, and nerve cells send signals, stem cells do not have any specific structures or functions. Stem cells do have the potential to become all other kinds of cells in your body. Embryonic stem cells are created from leftover embryos that are willingly donated by patients from fertility clinics. Unlike tissue-specific stem cells, embryonic stem cells are pluripotent. This means that they can be grown into any kind of tissue in the body. Scientists hope that with more research, they can not only develop specialized medicine that is specific to your body, but also better understand how your body functions.
I truly believe that stem cell research is going to allow our children to look at Alzheimer's and diabetes and other major diseases the way we view polio today, which is as a preventable disease. In our family, my son has type 1 diabetes, which is still an incurable disease, and I lost my parents to heart disease and cancer. But I think that my story probably sounds familiar to you because probably a version of it is your story. At some point in our lives, all of us, or people we care about, become patients. And that's why I think that stem cell research is incredibly important for all of us.
A little girl was dying because she was born without a windpipe, so doctors made her a new one in a lab. That's right, science. I'm Anthony, and 2-year-old Hannah Warren was born without a trachea. She couldn't eat or drink or swallow on her own, and she spent her whole life with a breathing tube in her mouth. She wasn't expected to live to be 6 years old, and it was not going to be much of a life. So enter amazing experimental medical procedures. This Italian doctor and a US pediatric surgeon from the Children's Hospital of Illinois decided to try regenerative medicine on her. So first, they build a plastic scaffold in the shape of a trachea. Then they grab some stem cells from Hannah's hip. You put the stem cells onto the plastic mold, and in just a week, they turn into a trachea. They implanted it into Hannah's throat in a 9-hour surgery, and it looks like it took. What's particularly great about this kind of implant is that because it's made of Hannah's own cells, her body won't reject it. It was made to be a part of her. She's still on a ventilator.
Scientists have grown tiny brains in a lab. Tell me that's not the coolest thing you've heard all day. Looking at a brain disorder called microcephaly, where the brain doesn't grow to the proper size. The dorsal cortex, which is the region most affected by the disease, is conveniently very accessible to the researchers now that they're, growing it. By studying the organoids made from a patient with microcephaly, they've already learned that the neurons are differentiating too soon, which may be the cause of the disease. Bam! Life-altering knowledge. So for all of this science magic, you can thank your stem cells. Those of you familiar with stem cell research know that they have the potential to turn into any body part. There are two types, embryonic and pluripotent. Embryonic stem cells are a little controversial because the 40-year-old embryo that they're taken from is destroyed in the process. Induced pluripotent stem cells are usually skin cells that are chemically reverted back to resemble the embryonic stem cells. In the case of cerebral organoids, both types of stem cells were used, although there wasn't much difference in the outcomes between the two. Growing human organs from stem cells is an area of scientific research that is really rapidly growing all around the world. In 2006, the first full organ successfully received by a human was a bladder engineered from their own cells. Big scientists are growing blood vessels and veins, heart tissue, cartilage, tiny livers, and lungs. That's right, folks, the future has arrived, and it is sweet. This research has the